All right, we're live. All right, so the picks are in. The 2024 soccer contest by VHP Proxy is live. Scott, what do we have?
I just want to retweet your message here real quick so everybody gets to see it. Let me see if I can grab this real quick. And I don't think I can retweet it. Isn't that crazy? All right. Well, given the fact I can't retweet it, let me tell you what I found out here. First thing that I found out here is we got about 30, some midway in the 30s of people that have signed up for this amazing contest. Adam has went above and beyond giving away prizes for this contest. And I'm really lucky that he's chosen me to go ahead and do the back end work here. We're going to be showing off the VHP server and how it's working. What I want to tell you guys first is when you first put your picks in, you probably all saw that you immediately got an email from the server telling you what picks you got. This afternoon, you should have gotten another email from the server saying that I had entered your picks into the contest. The next email you're going to get from me will be after I grade the picks and all your picks have been graded. So it's a 3 email system. Now, there was a couple of you guys that didn't have your picks in as early as everybody else. So I did some testing today with the system. A handful of you guys got emails. Some of you guys got SMSs. The system is automated for SMSs with the exception of pretty much T-Mobile. T-Mobile system does not work. I have to do those manually. So
Okay.
if you are a T-Mobile guy, you're getting something manually from me. But everything went really well. The thing I'm most impressed about with VHP service is there is a graph I want to share with you guys. Unfortunately, I have one monitor, so I can't bring this up on the screen. Spanky is doing a big release with a brand new feature that is incredible, which caused me to have to take one of my monitors away from my streaming machine and put it on my production machine. So it's not able to bring that second monitor up. But what I'd like you to do is go to VHP Proxy, and you should be able to see the charts. I just published the chart. Let me see if I can send this out. Let me see if it goes. Let me see what's happening here. Publish the chart. The answer is yes. Send anyway. Web set was just completed. And let me put that out on Twitter, what the link is to that. Give me one moment here. I can't believe I can't comment on this. Oh, here we go. Do you see I just commented on your Twitter link on the side?
Let me see if I can.
See if that comes up.
Yeah, we've got it on the screen now.
You do have it on the screen? Okay.
So let me.
I've given you the wrong link. Let's ignore that. What I'll do for this call right here is let me just read the screen to you. Here is the number one pick by everybody this week, and it was actually Belgium. They were a -1 favorite. They were picked by 82% of the people that submitted picks. Adam, do you like that pick?
I like that team for the whole thing.
Oh, you do? You like them for the whole thing? Okay.
They're a team that I've always been against the last World Cups and Euros. They're an aging team, and they seem like they've got a bit of youth added to that aging team. And I think this might be when they make a run. And they were like 20s, so for me, 20-1 was good odds to take a chance on them to win the whole thing.
Sounds good. Okay. We'll go through about the top 4 here. The next most popular one coming in at 75% is the home team, Germany, -1.5. Does that surprise you at all, Adam?
Not really, because it's generally I think what people are picking and the favorite. I was actually going to bet Scotland to upset Germany outright, and also Germany not to qualify. But it seems like Scotland have a bunch of injuries all at the wrong time, and Germany might just be getting them at the perfect time. So, yeah, that one doesn't surprise me.
Gotcha. Oh, and I was also going to say, until I can get this link that it just posted on the web, if you log on to VHP Proxy right now, you should be able to see this chart yourself. I don't know if you're logged on or not. You may not be in a position where you can do that. But anyway, I'll go on with the next. There's 2 more really big teams. The next one is another favorite, Denmark, picked by approximately 67.5% of all the entries. You like that favorite, Adam?
Who are they playing?
Denmark is playing, looks like Serbia. No, I went the wrong direction. They're playing Denmark. Denmark and Slovenia.
Okay, yeah, I think I played Denmark as well.
Denmark, okay, good.
I don't know enough of the Slovenian team, and Denmark, again, I was all over them in the last, maybe that was the Euros, and that's when they had one of their players, their captain, I think it was, have a heart attack on the pitch, and that kind of destroyed their event. But they actually ended up going pretty decent after that. So I think they'll be a solid underdog team in some spots.
Gotcha. Well, the next one I want to talk about, and it actually is the last one, is Portugal. Again, it seems like most of our players in this contest have picked favorites. Portugal -1. So that received approximately 70% of all the entries. So I was really surprised that the top 4 were all big favorites like that. Also, I'd like you to talk about this, and this is something that you and I touched on a little bit privately, is about you when you handicap these. I know it's a little bit different with a contest than if you're going to do some live trading. But one of the things I was always taught when I was a trader for one of the major firms here in Vegas was they didn't really like you having an even number. They always liked you to have a decision. Now, in a contest, it's a different story. But give me your thoughts on that as a real trader, not as a contest trader.
Right. So this is twofold. One, it's soccer. It's low scoring. Full numbers are a real thing. 1 goal favorites, 2 goal favorites, pick games. If we could have the accessibility to the Asian handicaps and go 1 1/4 and 1 3/4 and 3/4 and stuff like that, then that's where you sort of get it on the betting side. But I think the mindset and where you would have experienced that, and it happened, 20 years ago, was that everyone wanted to use halves. Now, a lot of this was because there was a lot of countries, and even with the US, with the excise tax, you were paying some kind of volume cost. So people didn't want to give back money because they still had to pay the volume tax of whatever it was. But again, basketball, sure, go halves all the times. Even football, low totaled ones, you can go halves. But soccer is one thing that half a goal, is worth 40, 50 cents. And you can't really that's why a lot of them, we're going pick 'em like 110 on these lines. So you're just trying to find something as close as possible. And if you put up 1, and especially like in that Belgium game, people are generally thinking which side it will land on besides where on the pro side. So picking when the line's 1, they're like, is it more likely to land 2 or 0? That's the side to look at and picking. And again, a lot of people are just looking at the teams they know. They know Ronaldo, they know Portugal, they know Belgium's a big country. Some of those things is where they're going to play into this. And again, there's probably going to be opportunities where it's a push more than likely. But some of these games, you got a chance of them winning by 2 rather than drawing or losing the game. So there is some strategy to the soccer differently than other things, but it's just whack up a number, let them pick, and everyone has the same number. That's the great thing about contests is everyone's using the same number. I mean, the first thing you do on the circuit contest, when those numbers come out, you look at the current numbers and you pick anything that's, moved over the course of released Wednesday, and you're trying to pick as close to the deadline as you can, sort of thing to pick up those little spots where, it's generally an easy choice if the lines move that way.
Yeah, for this contest, we're really, really lucky because I talked to Spanky about this contest, and he said, "Why don't you hang it up on Spank Odds? That way, people would have an easier time comparing the contest number to the real market number, so that if they were one of those guys that's how they handicapped, they would have an easier time." And he was willing to let me do that because our number is not moving. So I was able to put that up there for everybody, basic users, full users, pro users. Everybody can go to the columns, bookies. The name of the contest is VHP Contest. When the fall rolls around after this contest, it's going to be renamed Circuit Contest. And I'm going to hang the numbers up there for everybody. So I was really lucky that Spanky was willing to let me do that, especially with all the new things that he's adding to Spank Odds. Things right now are at a real premium about putting something up there. But I did want to follow up about the taxes, because there is one thing that I think is so funny. When I used to work for a book, they would always say, "We want a decision. Even if we lose, we would rather have a decision, because the guys that are winning it are just going to lose it back anyway."
Right.
And then on Fridays, they'd throw a few people out. So you never can quite figure out what the heck they want, which I think is just hilarious.
So I think one surprising thing that you said on those numbers, you said Denmark -1 was well played. Was that the one versus Slovenia?
Denmark. I had them right here. Denmark is 67.5% -0.5.
Right. When you look at the current number, it's actually +3/4 minus money. So, if you're playing against the market, the play would have been the +1 rather than the -1. So,
very
We'll see
interesting.
what happens.
Maybe everybody on this contest didn't realize you could add VHP contest to their list and do that market comparison. All these, most of the entries came in just exactly like I expected, about noon or a little bit later. I'd say probably 80% of them did, trying to get the last little look at the market they could, which is exactly what you need to do in a contest like this.
Right.
But everything seems to went smooth with the contest. The new server has held up well. I don't think we had any problems. I had a few surprises. We did find out that the system is not allowed to send to an Apple address. Me.com is an Apple address, and Apple will not deal with me at all. They have outlawed the company that we use to send the email. So Google loves us. Gmail loves us. So I think that's probably the best way to go. And when I looked at the database, I think 95% of people had a Gmail account. So we're golden there. Everything looks really good. So I'm happy with everything. The only problem we really have is I will send out a link for the whole world to get to see this chart, because the link did not come up when I clicked it. But like I said, everybody can log on to VHP Proxy right now, and they can see the charts that we're talking about.
Yeah, and the goal of this was to test your proxy service and check the site. And again, logging in this year, taking those picks when you wanted to pick one side and then you decide to change to the other side, you just click the other side and the other one unchecked. And this was seamless. I mean, you could pick all those games, in under 10 seconds kind of thing. So having been on the proxy last year and dealt with it, now what today was like picking those soccer things, it was seamless and easy. And that's the whole point of these proxy services. I mean, we've gone from 5 years ago where you were calling people and they're writing them down, or you were emailing your picks and you didn't know, getting back always confirmation and all these aspects to it, reminders, automated, things like that. So I think the goal of this is to test the proxy service and, give everybody an experience at what it's like, for when the real stuff starts in September. And, first day on it a lot cleaner and smoother than last football season. And it's a big step forward. And that's the goal of this soccer contest and testing it out.
Exactly. And wait till we get to Survivor, because you're going to love that when you don't have to keep track of any of your teams. It literally won't let you pick something you picked before. And the system is smart enough that it realizes entry number 1 and entry number 2 are 2 different things. And you can pick the Bears in both of them or save the Bears for the second one to another time. It does not confuse those. It's really, really amazing.
So as you're going through each entry, if you pick things or some kind of different strategy and you're still alive week 6, all the different entries will know which ones were picked within that entry. I mean, that's huge because...
Yeah, it is amazing. When the developer told me he could pull that off, at first I didn't believe it. But then when I tested, I said, oh, my God, he's right. He has pulled this off.
So let me ask you that. When you're entering direct into the circuit contests and stuff like that, do they have that available that you don't? So if someone's entering their own, okay, great.
Yes,
so,
they do.
I sort of curious, like how many of the entrants actually are in Nevada picking their own stuff during the course of the season, and how many are actually going through proxies. I presume it's a fairly sizable percentage going through proxies at a guess.
That would be a great question to ask Jeffrey Benson. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know too. I know Derek recommends everybody get a proxy. I'm not entirely sure I would go that far, but I know Derek does recommend everyone get one because life happens. But I don't know if I can quite go that far, but I can understand his reasoning,
Yeah, for me, the reminders, just seeing that soccer one come up, and, you get busy, you don't remember what entries you've got left, things like that. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
And worth the money of a proxy to get reminded, especially on the picks thing. Survivor, you can be done early, but those, the picks, getting that every week for 18 weeks or something like that can get tiresome towards the end of the season.
Definitely so. I got to tell you, it's really helped my networking too. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to do it, and it's really helped expand my network of people. And that's something I work on every single day. So I'm very pleased with the whole setup. Is there anything else that you want to close with here? You want to talk about the prizes you're giving away? What do you want to do?
For those that have entered, the first 5 are getting an entry into the circuit contests, whichever one they want, the Survivor of the Millions. And then you with the proxy and Spanky with his piece. There's, this is guaranteed, 5,000 plus, whatever the proxies, whatever this, it's a decent free prize pool for the contest. So for those mid-30 people that got in, and I've had a few people message me that they're going to win this thing. So, let's see what happens.
Well, actually, Spanky said he wants to match every entry that you give away with a full month of Spank odds full. And I'm going to give away a proxy for every entry that you give away. When I was figuring it this afternoon, I believe the EV of entering this tournament is above $400.
Okay.
It's that strong. So I'm glad everybody got entered, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some crazy times. The next time we're going to do a show, I believe, and we need to make sure that when you log on to the proxy service, there's a link right above where you log on that tells you the next days that you need to have your picks in. The next day you need to have your pick in is June 18th, and we will be doing a show that night to talk about them. Later on tonight, I'm going to go ahead and send out the link for the whole world to look at the graphs. In the meantime, just log on to the VHP proxy server, and you can look at the graphs until then. But I think that's it for us tonight. Adam, I'll let you wrap it up for us, and we'll call it a night.
Yeah, again, it's a bit of fun over the summer. Just to add in there, if anyone's in Ohio and New Jersey, go bet at Prime Sports. you're looking at it, the limits are big for these games. The door's open and everyone's welcome. So I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, Scotland, Germany, game 1.
That'll be great. And I want to be the first one that signs up to Prime Sports when you enter Nevada. So just let me know. I'm waiting
Sounds
for
good.
you.
I'll have you place in the first bet. There you go. It's on public record.
And before that, we want to eat oxtail soup. We're all eating oxtail soup together Sunday night before Bet Bash. Make sure that if you're available, I'd really like you to go to that. Sunday night, probably 11 o'clock.
Perfect.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody watching, and have a good night.
All right. Cheers.